Greetings, my name is Toon Abby. As you may know, I have not uploaded a new video since 2023. This is because, to tell you the truth, I have sworn off uploading content on this site, in part due to spending more of my time on other platforms, being fed up with YouTube's current policies, having to deal with personal and school life, and wanting to refrain from content creation due to the negative factors associated with it, i.e. controversy, having my content restricted to comply with these policies, false copyright strikes, etc., along with me focusing more on my career in art, webcomic creation, and animation, hence why I don't post that much anymore. I'm also using a text-to-speech program, since I don't have a microphone and my real voice might mess up a few of the lines in my script. Sorry if this introduction is long, I want to get that all out of the way first so I can address the elephant in the room that is YouTube's new policy, which I mentioned on my post back at the start of the month. As you don't know, YouTube will roll out a new feature on August 13th, where users under the age of 18 will have their personal ID scanned by an AI to determine if they're old enough or not to watch their content. This decision was made to comply with the Kids Online Safety Act that has affected multiple sites in the US and UK, with other major platforms either planning to roll out, or have rolled out, similar features. Everyone and their moms are talking about it, and not for good reason. Apart from the obvious reason of using AI to scan your private information, this decision has raised concerns about the content kids will watch if they have to show their ID to prove their age. Will they accidentally be recommended to a video clearly not for their age? What about adults with childish features or disabilities like autism or ADHD, the latter which I have? Will they be mistaken as a child even if they're clearly an adult? This includes adults without such features, disabilities that made their accounts when they were young, such as myself. Will they be fed the most bog-standard, putrid content farm slop because they made their channels when they were still children? That's not even mentioning whether this will affect channels that push out content for all ages, or indie animated shows with a cartoony art style, a medium that is usually, and erroneously, associated with children. Will they have their content marked for kids? I cannot stress this enough because it needs to be said, this whole policy was never meant to protect children, it was a matter of power and control, and monitoring the way children view content should be up to the parents, not the companies. My parents used to monitor the way I use the internet, and this tactic is still felt even when I'm an adult. With all that said, what will remain for me and my time on YT going forward? Well, to be honest, I never used YouTube apart from watching videos and commenting on said videos. As I said at the beginning, I stopped content creation altogether due to burnout and trying to keep up with my personal life. As of the end of this month, however, I'll no longer be active on YouTube outside of watching videos, and even then, I won't be watching the newer stuff on there unless it's from the channels I subscribe to. I'll also trot around to check my playlists just in case one of the videos I saved on there is deleted. With that out of the way, I have been recommended to a new alternative for YT called Glomble. Glomble is a currently in beta video sharing website run by two guys. It was launched back in 2024 that aims to put the social back in social media. While the interface doesn't look the best, it comes with customizable profiles that can be embedded to the video's thumbnail, setting it apart from most other YT alternatives. The videos take some time to load, but I believe they'll be fixed should a future update roll out. They are also funded by donations, so don't expect any corporate tomfoolery happening to them with, say, payment processors. In fact, my first introduction to the site came from a video from one of the lead creators. Now, I've been addicted to alternatives to YT even before the AI feature was announced, but no matter what site I choose, and which site I logged into, neither of these sites felt like YouTube, as in, the old one. To paraphrase, every single alternative I have heard and or seen in a while have either been a paid subscription service, like Nebula, dedicated solely to people who profit out of their content, like Player and Vimeo, or region blocked, like Bilibili and Nico, are small and or dedicated to a specific niche audience, like Dailymotion and the aforementioned Bilibili, Nico, or are right-leaning, politically charged grifter networks that support cryptocurrency and AI, like Rumble and Odise, and then there's stuff like PeerTube, which is similar in name to YouTube, but is more of a website builder than an actual website. By contrast, Glomble is the closest to actually feeling like old YouTube. Another alternative, despite predating YT by a decade, is Newgrounds, which seems to be more centered around indie animation, games, art and audio than content creation, but it's heralded as one of the last bastions of internet freedom, helped by them also being funded through donations and its lead developer, Tom Fulp, carrying the site since its inception. Fulp also addressed the AI thing in the thread, citing that while they will verify how old the user is, they won't give out personal information to determine if they are 18 plus or not. It would also be a new fitting for an aspiring animator, artist and up-and-coming webcomic creator like myself, seeing that I didn't post that much animation work outside of YouTube. Lastly, there's the Internet Archive, another video uploading platform funded by donations, which is more of a home for media preservation than anything else. However, they also have a section called MirrorTube, which includes content that has since been deleted off of the site, or are locked behind a memberships-only wall, as well as ones still available on the site. Among them includes re-uploads of old and new cartoons, promos of said cartoons, user-made videos, and even videos from the people I subscribe to. I made an account there back in 2023, and I plan to upload more of my content for archival purposes in the coming weeks. Oh, and there's a thing of Yar herring the 7 Cs, if you know what I mean. That's all I have to say. This week has not been good for any of us, but I hope we'll push through these George Orwell-type censorships. Once this month ends, all of my content will be uploaded on Glomble, Newgrounds, and Internet Archive after I made accounts for the former two. I've also ditched Google search myself for DuckDuckGo, not only on my laptop, but also phone and tablet. It's been a delightful 5 years being on this cursed platform, hasn't it? Until then though, this is Toon Abby, signing off for the last time.